Go.
Hello, we are Team Doe. We have researched the consequences of teens on social media. People ages 11 to 17 pick up their phones a median of 51 times per day, ranging from 2 to 498 times a day, according to Common Sense Media. Social media use among teens is popular and compulsory, and repercussions are seen in teens' mental health. So, to what extent does social media affect teens and young adults? We found that social media harms youth by causing more stress and anxiety and distorting their political views. It also leads to overconsumption and self-comparison.
First of all, these effects are so widespread and extreme due to teens' addiction to social media. Out of everyone who uses social media, about 1/3 of them are minors or young adults, and 93 to 97% of all teenagers ages 13 to 17 use at least one social media app, according to an article by Devsmita D that was published in the peer-reviewed medical journal Curis. This chart here shows the cycle of social media addiction. Fundamentally, when you use addictive algorithms, your brain's mesolimbic system releases dopamine as a reward. Overactivation of the system can cause reduced reward sensitivity. In other words, you will not enjoy genuine, everyday activities as much as you used to because your brain is relying on dopamine. The cycle of interacting with stimulus and getting a reward is very similar to substance abuse. In 2017, the Department of Psychology at the University of Southern California conducted a study where they compared the brains of those addicted to social media to the brains of those addicted to more severe addictions, such as substance and gambling, and found distinct similarities. According to Holly Shannon at the Royal Institute of Mental Health Research, social media addiction shares symptoms of a substance-related disorder such as withdrawal, tolerance, and dependence.
Social media creates an environment that encourages comparison, fosters social isolation, and contributes to mental health challenges. Teenagers are constantly exposed to other people's lives, promoting them to measure their own likes and followers. Saz, a psychiatrist and influential social critic, says, heavy users often experience dishonest between their created digital personas and their offline realities, leading to identity confusion and distress. She also states that teens may gain many online connections yet still feel increasingly lonely in real life.
Social media is used by many people to spread views and opinions. This graph by Circle, a research institution made in 2020, showed that 45% of teens took to social media to spread to bring to light a political view they found important through at least one form of social media interaction. However, Fast and Turn speakers in a TEDx talk made in 2025 state that a Europol estimates that by 2026, a vast majority of online content will be created by AI. The graph shown on the screen shows a survey given by Pew Research Institution in 2024, showing the percentage of numbers of people that believed AI would be used in a negative way during the presidential election. Since social media is a key element for communication and allowing people to openly express and voice their opinions, it creates a drift in what people truly believe and what they are persuaded into thinking or feeling. There are many people who believe they are not influenced by what social media says or shows, but in contrast to what may be thought, social media, including its users who use social media as a political tool, use certain tactics to manipulate the voters' opinions, from GIFs, funny videos, to even websites. As shown in this graph, there are many ways politicians use social media to manipulate and change the perspective of its users or targeted audience, such as hijacking accounts, fake news, paid commenters, and even political bots, all shown on this pie chart. Social media is where many people fall victim to these manipulation tactics, and this is exactly what is wanted to happen. Social media apps create a seamless shopping experience for consumers, leading to overconsumption and impulse buying, which have major economic consequences. This graph shows a study done by Ravant Moore,
an economist who holds a Bachelor of Science in Economics at Xavier's College, which shows that 37% of consumers make purchase decisions based on price as opposed to quality or brand preference. The value placed on affordability correlates to the economic success of platforms such as TikTok, which advertises the majority of its products as on sale, flash deal, or low in stock. Overconsumption makes consumers more vulnerable to scarcity tactics, which are seen all over social media. Additionally, Abu Muna Al-Mududi Asat, a lecturer from University Sorbonne, claims that users who repeatedly use social media will see more reviews, recommendations, and testimonials, often done by peers or influencers, which are prominent in shaping consumers' product opinions.
Now let's talk about one of the most significant effects of social media on teenagers. It is its body image and self-esteem. Jowitza and her peers published in 2021 explaining that social comparison, especially appearance-related comparison, is one of the main mechanisms linking social media use and body dissatisfaction. Their research found that teens who frequently compare themselves to others online reported higher levels of body dissatisfaction and drive for thinness regardless of their body type. Platforms like TikTok and Instagram encourage exposed content, leading to idealized images and also leading many young users to internalize unrealistic beauty standards. This graph here shows the amount of times you may often find yourself comparing yourself to others online. For example, 36.8% of people compare themselves a few times per week, and 36.8 people compare themselves a few times per month. The pressure to gain likes and followers can cause teenagers to seek popularity, shaping their self-concept around external feedback rather than internal confidence. Social media has profound influence on teenagers and society, shaping both personal identity and collective behavior. Stewart, a postdoctoral researcher at the Center for Media and Journalism Studies of the University of Groningen in Netherlands, emphasizes that teenagers are active participants who navigate the structure and norms of social media platforms. They use critical skills to access the trustworthiness of online information and manage their exposure to unreliable content. This shows that while social media is potentially harmful, it can also foster digital literacy and empowerment.
Our first proposed solution is that social media provide more user-friendly settings, such as the ability to skip certain content that participants on social media do not want to see, and also warning labels for potentially harmful content. These labels would help people to fully recognize and be more self-aware about the content they consume and its potential effect on their mental health. Our second proposed, however, social media apps may be reluctant to implement these measures because their profits come mostly from keeping teens addicted. Our second proposed solution is that governments around the world create more laws to protect minors on social media from harmful content, and more laws could potentially help them help reduce the amount of misinformation and harmful content purposefully spread on social media. However, our government in particular would struggle to pass these laws because it could potentially violate freedom of speech and privacy.
In conclusion, this issue is widespread and becoming more urgent because the number of social media users are projected to increase in the coming years, according to Demasmita D. from the Vanderbilt, and teens' mental health will likely worsen as that number increases. Ultimately, it is the responsibility of social media platforms, the government, and individuals to reconcile this problem.